Good morning, boomers. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest. Good morning to Rafterman, to Jay and Trappin Investor over there on the YouTube chat box. Shout out to everybody tuning in on D-Live. I'm multi-streaming, so you can catch me on multiple platforms. Today we'll be talking about, what are we talking about today? GDP, a report right now looking bad. The stocks are selling off. Is this a long term? Is this a panic? Is this the sell-off? Is this a dip? We're going to be talking about this coming after the Fed meeting yesterday. Powell had a meeting, and now there is a report. The GDP here in the United States is the lowest it's ever been, all-time lows, down about 30+%. It's a bloodbath out there, yet stocks are down 1%. We'll talk about where things may be headed and more. Shout out to Niagara, Trapping, Jay, Rafterman, and the rest of the pumpers out there. Make sure you're touching the buttons for me. Like, subscribe, post notification bell, ding, ding. Stay tuned in to the good crypto word that we spread here every single day. Weekdays, guys. We're out here with the best of them in the trenches. We've been here for years, and we're decorated soldiers at this point. We're about to get 5 stars from almost everybody here in the box. Because I know we got decorated generals here that they've stepped on landmines. They've lost limbs. And you're looking at soldiers that are still here in the trenches. Shout out to Rafterman. What do they expect? Yeah, what do they expect? Shout out to Rafterman, Niagara, Gardner, Trappin, and the rest of the boomers. Let me turn off these coins. Let me share my screen. You can see Bitcoin holding the line there at 10,997, holding 11,000 basically. You could see yesterday there was a sell-off momentarily, but then it sprung back up very quickly. This was just a few hours ago. We dipped down to 10.8. And then it was look at this candle right here. This one, you can barely even see it. Let me zoom in here. You can see this little sell-off, but boom, it rebounded quite quickly. So I don't know what that was about. Is that correlated to this GDP report? Perhaps, maybe. I know that report just came out this morning. And look, the GDP, okay, is the lowest it's ever been. The economy, there is no economy, guys. This boat is being held up by bandage. A Band-Aid at this point. It's like it's got huge holes in the boat, and here comes someone with a little Band-Aid to try to keep it afloat, and that's what's going on. And we've said this before. I mean, it looks like they're trying to tank the U.S. dollar by design and buy everything up before they swap out the currency. Yeah, low GDP called Jerome to print more money. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Fed yesterday. Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, he said that they're going to do whatever they can to keep the economy up through a Bitcoin, a Litecoin, a 1-to-2 ratio back in the lights. Okay. Let me know how that goes. You know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm not going to say never, but I'm not interested in touching the lights at this moment. But I did notice that the lights did make some gains this week. And finally. Yeah, call Jerome to print more. That's basically what it, and it's funny how they talk about it. Well, we have our tools, and, they try to slick talk. Guys, come on. That's the problem with people, in the upper echelons here. Everybody's so interested in like talking slick and everything, but get to the damn point. The point is that the whole thing's going down and you're printing more money. Come on. At this point, how many people are buying this stuff? I know maybe, before the internet, people were a little bit more easily swayed. But now, I mean, people are starting to get up on the game, I guess. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Shout out to Lady Plants. I see you. Lady Plants, our crypto chick boomer out here. Let me go ahead and share CoinMarketCap. Let's check out CoinMarketCap. You can see there was a slight sell-off over here. I think this is due to that report, but then people bought it up. And, that's what I'm expecting, to be honest with you. The lowest GDP, gross domestic product, which basically, if you guys don't know what that is, it measures how much output, basically, how much we're pumping out, like how much are we producing, gross domestic product. And it's the lowest that we've ever, it's a record low. So, I mean, we're producing the lowest And yet the stock market's down almost at all-time highs, down 1%. You tell me how that works. Okay. A lot of talk of the dollar failing. Yeah, it's by design, Slice. It's by design. That's what I would say. Destroy the dollar and institute the new one. And then in the meantime, while they're destroying it and no one's working or anything, they're able to buy everything with funny bunny money. So once they institute the new dollar, they're already going to own everything. So that's it seems to me clear. Like, I'm still getting texts and emails about, check out the Nisara, check out the new King of England and all this stuff about the QAnon people that they're going to, that Donnie's going to end the Fed and we're going to be back on a gold standard. Guys, it's a cool story, bro. Okay. And I hope that, the power gets put back into people's hands, but come on, guys. The Fed is getting stronger. The central bank's getting stronger. What kind of gold standards are you guys talking about? They got an unlimited supply. Why would they go on a gold standard? Come on, guys. You think they want to help the people out? Come on, guys. There's some people really out there that think that Donnie wants to help the little guy. Listen, he's going to do whatever he can to help himself, just like everybody else up there in the top of the pyramid, guys. I think I'm moving towards 20% of each checked into my crypto bag, says Rafterman. It's aggressive, but it's looking sexy. I have faith in the 100% uptime blockchain LTC. I do 25 to 30%. There you go. Hopefully, I mean, listen, I like the lights, and you've been following me, Niagara. It's the weirdest hold I ever had as far as that lights, and because of that, I probably won't get back in. As soon as I got out, it's been all right for me. And I've only seen it boom one time, and it boomed not even that much, But on the other hand, I could see someone that has a strategy such as yourself. You may win. So hopefully you do. Shout out to Furious Cabbage. Boom. All of George Carlin's words shining light on reality. Yeah, it's a big club, and you're not in it. Slice. And neither am I, for that matter. It's a big club, and you're not in it. So you can see the Bitcoin charts over here. Let's go ahead and run. Let's go run down the crypto charts over here and see how things are looking. What a run this past week with Bitcoin. Nice run also with the metals. And this is as the confidence in the U.S. dollar keeps going down. People are starting to say, people know. And, big dogs are starting to see this is weird. I mean, I'm starting to see people that never even question the reality that we're in, the situation that we're in. Now, you got, everybody's talking conspiracy now. Before it was just, the so-called wackos, the fringe. Now you got normal people like, yo, what's going on here? What's really going on? So, I don't know if that's a great awakening or not. But indeed, we are in some wacky times, guys. Wacky times. And that's why I keep repeating, you got to hold on to the Lord, okay? That's the only thing that's going to help you. Not the bits, not Satoshi, not Donnie, none of these people. Loving my silver. Yeah, I like the silver. I mean, you know how I feel, Rafterman. I'm buying coins and everything. So shout out to my silver heads. And, for everybody out there that's stacking precious metals and cryptos are cousins. I don't see how guys like Peter Schiff could be against Bitcoin. If you're into gold, then why not be into the digital gold? Why do they have to be in competition? Okay? I don't think so. I think they're partners, or they work in they're loosely affiliated. GDP dropped 33%. Yeah. Oh yeah, you mentioned that, right? 30. Wow, GDP dropped 33. Always got to be a 33. I didn't even catch that. I heard a report. It was like 31, 32. But let's see if the headlines just keep repeating that 33. Yeah. That Masonic symbology. Loving the stacks of silver. Yeah. And I've shared them before here. I got a little bit of silver coins here in my baggie. And I like it. Schiff likes emerging markets over crypto, which makes no sense at all. I think with Schiff, it's, his brand right now is, he's the Bitcoin hater. So that's kind of his branding. Why would he change it? Even if he's wrong, he's kind of found his niche as the Bitcoin hater, as the top Bitcoin hater. So why would he change? This guy, I wouldn't even be surprised if he's got some bags that he's not telling anybody about. and he's just got to keep up this persona because it's part of his public image at this point. At this point, I think he gets more opportunities by being a Bitcoin hater than the opposite. So, I think at the beginning he kind of hated, and at this point, it's like, he's been wrong at, like, he's not going to change. He's going to stick to, he's smart to hate on BTC, more publicity. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think that he hates on it as much as he expresses publicly. I think it's more of a publicity stunt, to tell you the truth, guys. Yeah, he has to keep doubling down on his Bitcoin blasphemy. Yeah, and you know what? I think it's good for his brand. Look, here we are talking about him, right? If he was a Bitcoin believer, he probably wouldn't be so polarizing enough to talk about. BitPapa sold all his stocks Friday. I've seen this coming. Shout out to BitPapa. 5 USD. Thank you so much, BitPapa. Yeah, I mean, listen, there could be a pan sell-off here. There could be. Keep your eyes off. And if there is, I would expect the banks to come in and buy the dip as well. Now, the question is how low could it go? So listen, selling out and taking profits is not a bad idea. Taking your profits is not a bad idea. I don't think it's ever a bad idea to take profits. So, I'm not really holding any stocks. You know the deal. I mean, I got some Microsoft there, and I'll hold it through a dip because I feel like Microsoft will stick around. But I don't have any other stocks. You know me. I'm not trying to. I want hard assets, digital and physical. I got some options plays that I do. I do some weekly options plays and stuff. So let's see. I got one expiring tomorrow. I'm in the money on Nvidia. Yeah, BitPapa says, I'm getting ready to buy the dip heavy. Yeah, I mean, I would expect another dip to come at some point. Yeah, I would. And then at the same time, I would expect the Fed to buy it up even more. What you're seeing them, they're accumulating. They're accumulating. They're accumulating. And they're going to end up literally owning cities. I like BTC, but I don't think any of Peter Schiff's points are wrong. Well, obviously, price-wise, he's wrong. Demand-wise, he's wrong. There's a lot of ways he's wrong, but I do see some of the points he's trying to express. And I guess the core of the argument is that gold is superior to everything. I'm assuming, and yeah, I could see that argument. But again, I don't think it's either gold or crypto. I don't think they shouldn't compete. Shout out to Quantum Jumper. He hates it because he says it's not a store of wealth long-term and it's too volatile. Yeah, okay, But imagine if you would have been listening to Schiff for the past, I don't know. Imagine you would have listened to him at any time. You would have been a loser. I was reading an article about Bitcoin holders, Bitcoin hodlers, that 97% of the time it's profitable to hodl Bitcoin. I forgot the article there I came across, but that was the data I got. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like it could be. The feds are becoming insurance for stocks. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're looking at a decimation of the middle class, the mom and pop businesses, and what's going to remain is just a few big dogs. Your big hitters. Shout out to Tree Sup Boomers. I see you. Quantum Jumper says, not if, but when Biden drops off as a Dem nominee, we will see 60% drop. Not if, but when Biden drops off as. So you think he's not going to be so what you're saying is that he's gonna step off the race? Elaborate a little bit more on what you think. Derek says, I don't own gold, but I don't hate it. Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, how can if you're anti-gold, then I don't know what planet you're living in. On what world would someone not want gold? I mean, it's the currency of kings, right? I'm not saying it's going up 100x tomorrow, but guys, it's never. I've never seen a situation where gold was a bad move. So yeah, I like gold. That being said, I do own some gold, but not a lot. Quantum says Biden's not mentally fit to be president. Well, I mean, that's pretty obvious. But give us a little bit more. You're saying that he's going to drop off. What, the Dems are going to drop him? What do you think here? That's interesting. I still don't see the logic behind it, but I'll definitely pay attention to what you're saying. I think short term, Biden could be a stock market positive because these Dems are so weak. They'll just hand the keys. I mean, like they already have, but they'll hand all the keys over to the Fed and just be like, here, hand it. At this point, it's like the Fed runs the country, not the Congress. Like he comes to talk to people, the committee and everything, and people are thanking him like he's some sort of like thank you, Mr. Powell. It's like they. If you notice one thing that they don't grill him like they do other people. In these political parties. I didn't see any disrespect towards him. Donnie not mentally fit either. Yeah, that's true, Absolutely. I'm not depending on any of these characters to come help us, guys. And you know what my conclusion here, it's the good cop, bad cop routine. And they all ultimately have the master plan of a one world government where just a few handle everything. Okay. And the Fed, the bank. I mean, listen, none of them go against, you don't hear the Dems or the Republicans going against the bank. They'll go against the protest each other, this and that, but nobody's going against the bank or against Israel for that matter. What's funny is Biden is racist. Oh, yeah, we heard what he said. He's like, oh, you're not black if you don't vote for me or something like that. It was wild. All these politicians, to me, need to be blackmailable to be controlled. Yeah. They all have skeletons in their closet. There you go. I mean, I think that you can't make it to the top by being just like a good guy. You used to say, you don't make it to the top up there, at least in this day and age, from what I'm seeing. And think about it, in order like to want to make it to the top, think about the mentality you want to have. Like, I want to control everything. And, what kind of a person really wants to be in control of so many people? I don't know, guys. Think about that. Yeah, power and control, but, that's there's a high risk and liability just to be in that seat. I'd rather just chill out. I mean, I'm not trying to be in control of everything. Yale and the Skull and Bones made the red and blue system. Yeah, we know about that. And don't they have Geronimo's skull out there in Yale and the Skull and Bones place? I'm not sure. And they do something with the skull and some rituals and put people in caskets. So I've heard. I mean, obviously, I'm not in Yale and I'm not part of the Skull and Bones, guys. And, I think that Skull and Bones and the red and blue goes way before just Yale. And this is, paganism and old Masonic rituals that go back into antiquity. You got to be some sort of sociopath or narcissist to be a politician. I think to a certain extent, yeah. A certain extent. Or, the complete opposite, a complete, like, someone that's blessed by the Lord, like a benevolent ruler. But we haven't seen those in a long time. We haven't seen a Solomon or a King David or something like that. We haven't seen that. Right now, the world's in control, being run by the forces of evil. Let's change it to a worker class movement to make it better for everyone, not just the elites. Nah, Slice, I'll pass on that. I'm not into the worker class movements. That is one step away from communism. I'm not into that. I'm not into the worker class movement. I think it sounds cool, bro, but that's one step away from commies. That's what the commies do. The worker revolution, the proletaire against the bourgeois. Of course, it sounds good. Let's bring equality. Let's unify. But in order to have equality, then you need someone to regulate it, and that someone is going to be in power. Okay, so I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I want freedom. And here's the thing, guys. This is what people don't understand, and that what so many people that fall for the hook of communism is that the world is never going to be a utopia. Okay, not one man is gonna come and give you an idea to change it all. It's just like that is a false prophet. Anybody that's telling you they got the plan for for everybody to be kumbaya, that's falsehood. The only plan is the Lord Himself. The women's rights movements made things worse for the economy. Yeah, and one could even argue that the civil rights movement ultimately led to the destruction of the black family. Okay, but do your research, guys. I want out of the working class. I want out of the working class. Exactly. Like, I don't, working class. What are you talking about? Do you want to stay in the working class? I mean, like, I don't know. There's a lot of sorcery and trickery and spells being cast behind the ideas of equality, and even I'm going to be honest too. Like, I was thinking about it too. Like, the Declaration of Independence, we hold these truths to be self-evident that every man is created equal. It don't say that in the Bible, guys. It don't say nothing about that in the Bible. Okay, so I don't know about truths to be self-evident. Everything I'm seeing, every man is created differently. Okay, there's, some men are stronger than others, some are weaker, some are smarter. And I'm not talking about, just skin color or anything like that. I'm just saying that God makes everybody different. I mean, even in the plants and the animals, everything is slightly different than everybody else. Like, you're slightly different than your brother. You're slightly different than your mother. You're not equal to your mother or your father. You're different. And that's what's beautiful about it. You want everybody to be the same? Do you really want everybody to be the same? Come on, guys. Think about that. It's Marxism at its finest, and that's why. Listen, I was actually came across a study yesterday that said that the highest group that is joining communist and leftist radical movement. Who do you think is the largest demographic group that is joining this movement now? The demographic group that is most rapidly going into leftist ideology. It's white women, white millennial women. Okay? They pull at the heartstrings. One could argue that women are more empathetic than men. Man, every mainstream movement that the majority suddenly chant on the daily is a big bait and switch. Yeah, look up Operation Legend from the government that is a result of defund the police. I never heard of that, but it makes sense. God created man, cult made them equal. Marxism run wild, humanism overlooking the other way. And Derek says young people. It's not, it is young people, but most specifically, okay, the biggest group of growing group of social justice warriors is white women, college educated specifically. Okay. Yeah, you're right about young people, but I'm saying even more specifically, it's white college educated women that seem to be leaning over to this radical leftism, which is, the government's bad. Everything's bad. The man is bad. Everything's bad. It's hinges on critical theory by Saul Alinsky. Criticize everything. Everything is bad. Yeah, these, young women are literally being taught it's like, having a family, the man, everything is all bad. It's all bad. Patriarchy is bad. No wonder you have so much, one could argue that could be directly linked to rising homosexuality. I don't know. I mean, I'm not doing the studies, but that could be a hypothesis. Straight up a socialist progressive Democrat here. I want a better future, even if I get myself out of the working class. If you want a better future, then you need economic opportunities. Okay, don't if you want you want the government to help you. I mean, come on, Slice, come on. Social progressive Democrat, that's like red flag everywhere. Slice, I want independent free thinker, doing it yourself. What the government needs to do is get out the way. And Matt, look, even this whole thing that's going on, the reason we're in like everything's going down is because they're getting in the way. They're trying to tell you to wear a mask, not to wear a mask, to go to work, not to go to work, to open schools, not to go. They're not out there doing anything for you and expecting them to do anything. They're not going to do anything right. Okay? They can't get it right. They can't police right. They can't protest right. They can't legislate. To sit down and expect that there's going to be a system that, is going to come take care of you guys. Take care of yourself and your family. Forget about, a political movement that is going to come help you. Okay, what we need to do is to create our own opportunities, not to be depending on the government. If you want a better future, you cannot depend on your employer or the government. Do it yourself and take control of your own actions. Exactly, aka exercise your freedom. Only polices is to not be lazy and depend. I will pull people out of poverty the best I can. Slice. What you need to do is pull yourself out of poverty and lead by example. Okay, stop trying to be a social justice warrior, just trying to pull everybody out of poverty. Take yourself out of poverty first and lead by example so that you could be an example for other people to follow. Okay, you don't get other people strong by you just working out. Okay, and telling them to work out. No, you show that you work out and then hope that other people will work out on their own. They need to lift the weight on their own. Okay, the government ain't gonna lift the weight for you guys. Ultimately, you need to show up, put your hand on the barbell, and pick up the weight on your own. There is no other way to strengthen yourself. You have to do it on your own. You just can't expect everybody to spot you all the time. You're not going to get stronger. By stealing money from other people. Focus. That's the thing. Socialism works until they lose money till they run out of people to take money from. And those that would say, well, capitalism is wrong. I would say is that capitalism don't even exist out here, guys. What kind of capitalist system would allow the government to buy government-backed securities, bail out all these people? In a capitalist system, if you don't have a good business, you crash and burn and you go bankrupt. But that doesn't occur here. The only people that are going crashing and burning are the mom and pops. But ever heard the term too big to fail? Okay? Too big to fail doesn't exist in capitalism. Okay? So that's what it is, guys. We don't have capitalism. People think that we have. People think oh, the reason that everything's messed up is because we have capitalism. Nah, guys, this is not capitalism. There is no capitalism here. Where's the capitalism when everybody's getting a $1,200 check? Is that capitalism? I'm never. Come on. That's not a free market. That's a bailout for everybody. And listen, they give you 12. Imagine how much they're giving these corporations. It's crony. Yeah, well, it's not even capitalism, but they throw the word out there because it sounds sexy. This is not capitalism. This is socialism for the corporation, guys. That's really what it is. Yeah, too big to fail is socialism at its worst. Too big to fail. That's what they're telling you. These companies are too big to fail, yet mom and pop businesses, they can just crash and burn. I've never heard of a mom and pop business that is too big to fail. So, I'm saying, I don't even think we've ever been in capitalism out here, but, it's been freer at some points. Too big to fail was the Titanic's model. There you go. Stop the F-bombs. Am I saying F-bombs? Or somebody else here on the chat? Because I'm seeing the chat through I'm not looking at it through YouTube, guys. I'm looking at it through another filter. Crony capitalism and corporate socialism. Yeah, that's what's going on. Corporate socialism. And what, a social progressive Democrat, where do you think that's going to lead to? So let's look at the headlines over here. And amidst everything, you know they got to throw you some CGI picture of Mars. Guys, you think this is a real picture of Mars, guys? Come on. Come on, guys. Look how CGI this thing is. Space race mission to Mars. NASA, going nowhere, launched its most ambitious Mars mission in a half a century. If all goes to schedule on the 300 million mile voyage, the spacecraft will land on February 18th.